All right, guys, happy Monday, June 1st, the start of the end of the year. It has been a privilege, and you guys got about 2.5 weeks with me left, and then you never have to see my face again or hear my voice again. What does that also mean? I will tell you one of the most important things that you guys need to know. Friday, you will know whether you are getting your cap and gown or not. Okay, so your grades as of Friday. I can read you a percentage of the email. I don't believe it's proprietary, but I do this to try to instill that. I mean, obviously, whether you guys owe me work or not, things are what they are. I don't know your situations with other classes, so I do want to give you the timeline we're looking at. Okay. It's important for you guys if you're looking to try to increase your grade. It's important if you guys are trying to find out what your status is. Okay. Okay, so let's see. There's no class Thursday. Thursday is a professional development day, so there's no class Thursday. Today, we're going to look over a sample credit report, teach you guys how to read it. Tomorrow, we'll go over the assignment homework that you guys have. We'll do that. Friday, I have to submit, Friday, all teachers have to submit the students that are not getting credit for this marking period. All right? These students will most likely not get their cap and gown unless the teacher changes that grade by next Friday. So this Friday, we have to let the school know who's underperforming and at risk of failing. Okay? Then those students will be connected with and informed. Okay? That status can change. That status can change by the next Friday, June 12th. As of that Friday, June 12th, you'll be notified if your grade didn't improve. I guess they'll be trying to consider what happens with summer school, or if you guys even need certain classes that you're taking in order to graduate. So I don't know what happens. All I know is this Friday, teachers submit names of seniors that are not going to pass the course. That means most likely they won't receive their cap and gown. Okay. Hopefully I don't have names to submit. I'll be doing grades today and tomorrow. There'll be no new assignments for Thursday and Friday, so I can give the most up-to-date assessments to the school. If I give names on Friday that are not performing, they have until the following Friday to improve their status. That's Friday, June 12th. Okay? After Friday, June 12th, they then have one more opportunity, Tuesday, June 16th, which is the last day of all classes, that can be converted to a passing grade. So all in all, you guys have like a week to figure yourselves out. Most of you in VE and in most of your other classes, as other teachers I've spoken with, are doing fine and doing well. Some are struggling more than others. Some are not going to any classes. Some are refusing to do work. Some have not submitted any work. Some submit some, but they submit it late. The risk at submitting your work late, and again, you guys have till tomorrow to do this assignment. Please don't submit this assignment late, because if I'm not giving you guys any new assignments and you're submitting all your stuff late, even if I give you 50% credit, you're not going to pass. So I at least need tomorrow's work to be on time, because if it's not on time, I can't help at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. And that's the playlist that we were given from everyone. So, good luck. I'll do whatever I can. I'm not going to harp on it much longer. You guys are pretty much, determining your own futures and your own fates here. Okay. So let's move and discuss a sample credit report. Now, this credit report that you guys are looking at, isn't the end all be all of credit reports. Okay. They're all not laid out the same. Okay. But this is a good estimation of exactly what you guys would see. Can you guys all see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what a credit score is. You know its purpose, right? Now you have to be able to read it and understand it and comprehend its purpose. All right. So I have a few questions laid out that we're going to look at. The first question, and I got these from PricewaterhouseCoopers. I went to a training for them a couple of years ago down at Penn in Philly at the Wharton School of Business. So they got some good stuff. We know the names of the 3 credit reporting agencies. We don't have to beat that with a hammer. According to Experian, okay, how many revolving accounts does this person have? So that information is here. All right. So you have real estate information. You have the 3 credit agencies. How many revolving accounts does this person have?
That would be 3.
That would be 3. Based on Experian, that would be 3. TransUnion says 2. Equifax says 2. All right. Revolving accounts. Any thoughts on what a revolving, quote unquote, account is? Revolving. So think of a door. When you go through a revolving door at Macy's, what does revolving mean? What can you do in a revolving?
It goes around?
Yes, so it goes around. It continues to exist. So what types of debt continue to exist and revolve? Or think of it this way. If you can revolve, say it again.
Credit cards?
Yes. Credit cards. And that's exactly what it is. These are credit cards. So these are accounts that you have that month over month you can continue to have and use those debts or that type of credit. So a credit card is a revolving account. You can carry a balance on a revolving account, all right, from month to month. You can pay the minimum, okay? Okay, so next question. According to Equifax, how much does this person owe on their revolving account? Okay, so how much, according to Equifax, what does this person owe on their revolving account?
$1,173.
There you go. Easy. Nice. $1,173. They're not very, very difficult to read if you know the language. So next question. Why might a person write a consumer statement for their credit report? So we've got to find what a consumer statement is. That's right here. Okay. Why would you write a consumer? Can you guys read this, or should I zoom in a little bit?
That's fine.
Read that and tell me, why would you write a consumer statement as yourselves?
I guess it's to help, the credit bureaus making a decision on whether to account certain debt that you have towards your credit score.
What do you mean account to it? So organize it a little cleaner.
So what I'm thinking is that since he has the person, he or she, the debt that they have is owed to ABC Electronics, but the electronics the radio is defective and they won't repair it.
Right.
So my thought process is what the credit bureaus might do with this information is to take away from the unpaid debt that this person has and increase their credit score or leave it there. But it just allows the credit bureaus to have extra information to understand the person's situation and why they have outstanding debt.
This is your argument. This is where you get to make a stand, right? Somebody said you didn't pay the bill. You're giving the reason you didn't pay the bill, right? So let's say you bought something from Amazon and it came back and it was broken, right? And you got it broken. So you canceled your payment or you didn't send the rest of the payment or something happens, right? You cancel your credit card payment on it. Well, at that point, if Amazon went and said, hey, he's not paying his bill, that's going to count against you as a delinquent payment, as a missed payment. You would have to make a consumer statement to fight that statement. So I'm refusing to pay for it. That's what this person said. It's your chance to argue why you missed a payment. That way, because otherwise they're just going to take the business's word for it, right? Imagine you got in, what's the last thing one of you guys bought? I know we haven't been like outside in a while, but what's the last thing somebody might have bought here?
Carrots.
Okay, I can't really do anything. I can't really make up a scenario with carrots. Were they good carrots? I hope they were good carrots. So let's say you bought something from Nike, right? And you charged your credit card, right? And you got the stuff, and then you called your credit card and canceled the payment. You canceled the payment because the shoes they sent you were ripped. And you contacted Nike, and Nike said, no, we sent them to you. They were not ripped. You must have ripped them. We're not refunding you. So you call your credit card company, you cancel the payment. Nike says, well, wait a minute. They canceled the payment. We're not getting paid. That means they owe us money. You're delinquent. So now they would add a delinquent remark right here on your credit score. They would add a delinquent remark right there on your credit score. You would get a delinquent remark. You would then have to fight two companies. You would have to fight Nike and Visa. And then you would have to discuss with Experian, TransUnion, and or Equifax to get them to take this off of your credit report.
Isn't that section for the real estate though, for mortgage?
Say it again.
Isn't that section for mortgage though?
Yeah, but you can. So I'm circling this because it says real estate accounts. You can easily have delinquent accounts under your revolving. I just didn't feel like scrolling down. So pretend that's not there. Pretend that's not there. All right. So yeah. So I'll just clear it and just show you guys then. You would have this as a delinquent remark. So all of this, so this says count and balance. You would have payment, current, delinquent, all under revolving credit as well. So all of these would show up under your revolving accounts in addition. We just didn't do that because it's not on this document they provided me. Nope, it's not on the rest of it either. No. Okay, so imagine all of these would also exist under here. So we'll just write it in that case. Delinquent. They can make that remark. So you can say you are delinquent 111. Now Nike gave you a delinquent remark. Now you're pissed off because you've never had a delinquent remark and they're screwing you over. So you've got to talk to Nike and Visa, and once you settle it with Visa, Visa will contact Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. But you would want to follow up with them with like an email and just say, this was the correspondence with Visa. Please check my credit analysis, and the delinquent remark should have been removed. The derogatory remark and the delinquent payment should be removed. Make sense? Any questions on that?
No questions so far.
All right. So let's move ahead and move down to the next question. I mean, this stuff is pretty easy so far. How much is this person's monthly mortgage payment? That's like, you know, how much is your monthly mortgage payment? Boom, $1,130. All right. I don't even think I have to waste that kind of time with you guys, right? According to each credit bureau, how many times has this person been late paying their mortgage? How many times? So this is the real estate, like you were saying. How many times?
According to who?
According to the question, according to the credit bureaus, how many times has this person been late paying their mortgage? How many times have they been late paying their mortgage?
Equifax says one time, the rest says no times.
Yes. So payment delinquent is once. Delinquency means missing a payment. Okay? Delinquency means missing a payment. Derogatory remarks means the actual company said something about you. Neither one of those things are good. All right. Let's keep moving. When did this person file for bankruptcy? So before we get to number 7 is a little bit extreme. What do you think these credit reports are going to look like in the next 4 to 6 weeks? Do you think in real time, real life, it's June 1st, people owe rent, right? People owe their rent. What do you think happens? Do you think we get more delinquencies? In the real world, what we're facing now, people owe mortgages and credit cards.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot more people that have delinquencies.
Okay, why is that?
They have no money. They have no jobs.
Yeah, they have no money or ability to, generate any income.
Okay.
If they can't do that, they have to decide as whether they're going to pay rent or get their food, or they'll have to use a credit card, which they can't pay back.
Interesting.
But wouldn't it also add up for future credit card bills? Because I don't think like most homeowners are like forgiving the fees. They're just postponing them.
Yeah, so there's something called mortgage forbearance where you can come out and say you can't pay it yet. All right, and they try to push the payment off. But you never know. You now have a situation where you have riots and violence across the country, where property is being burnt or damaged, stores are being closed. What do you think happens with these small businesses that are now unable to open?
Futures are up. What? Okay. Stocks are up. I don't know how.
The stock market's up. The stock market doesn't care. Target literally said they're closing 2,000 stores, and it's unfazed in the stock market today. We've known that it is off of, it's out of its mind.
But it's priced in, so it's fine. Yeah.
Well priced in. I saw, and not to get off the topic, I really want to get shirts that say it's priced in, guys. I really want to do that. I wish I had access to the fundraising money we had at school. I'd buy them and ship them to everyone's house. But I actually saw somebody tweet something, and I wrote what's going to happen. You have serious damage. You have people that won't pay their bills. You have hundreds of employees that are losing their jobs. Now, I'm not going to say whether I agree or disagree with the riots. I support, the protests fully. The violent side, we can have a different discussion if you guys want. But in terms of jobs, you will have people that can't work, obviously, if places are closed or not open. And then somebody told me, yeah, it's priced in. Some big Wall Street guy just tweeted back. He's like, the weekend priced it in. And that's why the market's there. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's priced in. You really think that? Because so here's what happens. What happens is that if something happens for the course of a long period of time, you get numb to it. And I think that's what the stock market realized. You had damage to communities Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By Monday morning, people were like, whatever, let's buy stocks. If the protests started last night, and Target and Apple buildings were on fire last night and not Friday and Saturday, the market would be down today. But because it's happened for 5 or 6 days, the stock market doesn't seem to really care. It makes no sense at all. But let's digress. Let's get back to your credit report.
Yeah, our slash Wall Street Bets is having a field day today.
Yes. So you have delinquencies that are going to occur. Based on this crisis we're having, the COVID crisis and the protest crisis, the protest and COVID crisis, okay? Based on those crises, you're going to get a lot more delinquencies and a lot more derogatory remarks. What is going to happen to the credit scores of the individuals working or running these businesses?
Gonna go down.
Why would they go down?
Because they're missing payments.
Yeah, that's it. It's very simple, guys. They're going to miss payments. They're going to get derogatory remarks. I would love to give you guys some big, in-depth analysis, but it is not that serious. It's not that serious of an analysis that needs to be made. Because it's very simple. It's like 1 + 1 is 2. You miss a payment. Do you think Visa's going to literally cover your bill? Yes or no?
No, they're just going to delay it.
That's right. Best. And they'll delay it, and then they'll charge you interest and a fee. So Frank said, can't credit agencies make exceptions? Frank, hell yeah. And I would love if crediting agencies paused impacts on credit scores. I think that would be the smartest thing to do. I think that what they need to do is they need to look at every individual. The same way they kind of postpone doing your taxes to July 15th, they need to suspend credit scores. Because you have a lot of people that are getting derogatory remarks. And to be honest, it's not their fault. The government is the one that shut down our economy. However, what if I have an 811 credit score, which I have now? I miss a payment on my credit card, and then I try to open up a new credit card. Doesn't that credit agency need to know that I've been missing my payments in the month of April and May? So, Frank, my question to you is, should they make an exception? Because that means if you're making an exception, you don't really know what the hell I'm doing. What do you think, Frank? Do you think they should make the exception because it's extreme times and they should give everyone the benefit of the doubt? Or should they protect themselves and say, you know what? People are people. They got to worry for themselves. We got to protect our business. I'd like to hear what you got to say. Hello?
I mean, if no one's going to go, I'll go.
Right. Tyler, go ahead. Oh, wait, hold up. Frank unmuted. Frank, go ahead. Frank, come on. You said it. Let's go. Speak, Frank.
I think they should because I feel like this situation is affecting like more people, like a lot more people. So like these credit agencies like know that people are suffering, so just give them the benefit of the doubt and like just make an exception for everyone.
Okay. Anybody want to take the other end of that argument? Anybody think, listen, it's my business.
I'll take the other end.
All right.
End of the group. Well, if you actually do end up forgiving so many people, it's gonna dig into your profits. That's not gonna look good for your investors, and it might mean that there's gonna be a huge sell-off for your company.
Okay.
And it's not.
Well, investors might be behind it too, because you know you're helping the public. That's good PR. Investors might support that.
Yeah.
Would you rather have good PR or would you rather be making money? Be honest.
you, you make a hard argument.
Vincent, which is it? Good PR or make money?
Money talks, man. Money
Adrian,
talks.
Adrian, money talks, or would you rather good PR in the community?
Money.
You're not Adrian, Vincent. Thank you, Adrian. What do you think?
You liked that when you said the Adrian part. So.
Listen. I think we have Leslie, Layla, and Adrian are the only young female leaders in here. They probably have bigger hearts than we do. So if they say good PR, that's great. If they say go for the money, then that should be what it is. Because Adrian, what do you think?
We do have bigger hearts than you guys, but go for the money.
Adrian said go for the money. Leela, what do you think? Big heart or go for the money? Yeah, you can type. That's fine. Leslie, while she's typing, what do you think? Big heart or go for the money?
I have a question. How do these credit agencies even make money?
How do the credit agencies make money? You pay them. So Mint makes money on advertising, the app I'm telling you guys that you have to use. Mint makes money on advertising, and they pay TransUnion to give the free credit score to everyone who uses Mint. So
I say money.
So you say make the money. Layla, you're it. Are we making money or are we going for good PR and ignore delinquent payments? I think we should make an exception during this time and people should pay back when it goes back to normal. All right. So we got to split. You know, it's tough. It is definitely tough. So it's interesting because Frank did say long-term good PR is a good benefit. I agree. Target CEO made a statement. Target CEO, Target got burnt down in one of the cities. And Target CEO made a statement yesterday, which I found profound and beautiful. And he said that their heart goes out to the community. They know the community is hurting. They will continue to pay their employees for the next few weeks, even though the building is not there. And they will rebuild the building. Now, here's my question to you. Would you leave that community with your business, or would you rebuild your business and stay right there because you understand? Or would you leave the community? Now, this is PR versus cost basis, right? It will cost you to rebuild and grow, but that community might love you forever for it. Or do you just say, you know what, I'm out of here? What do you guys think? We'll type it in the box. Type a 1 if you would rebuild, like Target said. Target said we are rebuilding and staying. Or type a 2 if you would just leave and then say, I'm out of this place. That could be New York City, Miami, Florida, Austin. It could be anywhere. If your Target or Walmart got vandalized or burned down, are you closing up shop and leaving? Or are you rebuilding? Rebuilding is number 1. Leaving is number 2. You got to pick one, Adrian. You're the CEO. You be a CEO. Make a decision. You guys got to make a decision here. 1 is rebuild and stay. 2 is cut your losses. We're outie, like a belly button. We're out. Vincent's out. Okay? It's tough. The 1 gives you good PR, but costs you money to rebuild. The 2 might reduce your income level because you might not make as much because you have a store that's not in a specific area where you're trying to target consumers. And by the way, Apple's up. So go ahead.
Sorry. I
Nope.
feel like it would just be very different because Target is already like a well-established franchise. It's different if it were to be like a small business, but because Target already has like a reputation of being a good retail store, it wouldn't be that hard for people to come back to it if they didn't rebuild. But at the same time, they would still generate or get back whatever they lost after making profits when the store is already rebuilt also.
It's a double-edged sword. You know, it would cost you money to rebuild and then years to offset the rebuild cost. And it would also cost you money in terms of it would cost you income if you didn't have a target in that community. It's not an easy decision. This is why CEOs get paid. CEOs get paid to analyze risk and make a leadership decision. The Disney CEO has to decide, open our doors with COVID or close them and wait. That's a CEO's decision. It's not an employee's decision. That's why CEOs really, I'll be real with you, business owners and CEOs get paid to make like 5 decisions a year. That's it. 5 decisions a year. They might make small ones in and out, but we're talking 5 legitimate, serious, big deal, impactful decisions a year. And this is one of them for Target. This will be one.
It's kind of like going to college, I think, because like a lot of people say how if you go to like an Ivy or like a big name school and with all the loans that you might take out, that's the risk. But like at the end, when you come out of college, you're gonna already have a well-paying job, or that's the stereotype at least, versus going to like a community college or just like a low named one, and you kind of don't have as much student loans, but you do get something out of it as well.
Definitely. I agree with you. I agree with you. Let's move on to the next question though. And then we'll be out of here in a few minutes. So we're gonna have to slide down. When did this person file for bankruptcy? So you can get through, and I'm actually going to share this link with you in the chat. You guys can have that, and you can even have the questions, and then I'll even throw you guys the answer key so you guys can have all that information. All right. So according to when did this person file for bankruptcy? So here's the account history information. Okay. The account history information will show a wider look at you as a person and you as an individual. Okay. So let's take a look. Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. This is the person. Responsibility, individual. It's not a business. Pay status, 60 days late, 30 days late. Date open, blah, 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 blah. Balance, around the same. Past due, 0. It does have a high balance, $106,000 is total due. But the payment terms are $1,130 per month for 360 months. That's a lot of years. Okay. Let's move down to payment history. You can see good payments for the most part through 2001. Then you get some difficulty around January, February 2002. If we go down all the way lower to the public record, now we get to bankruptcy. They filed bankruptcy in what year? Yep, 1996. 1996. The creditor's name, the bank, 2 credit card companies, and the mortgage lender. All right, these all 3 put inquiries into the consumer, or the person who has all the debt. All right, you have an auto lender, 2 bank credit cards. So let's go to another question. So the next question, how many credit cards does this person currently have? So we go back to account information. Can we see how many credit cards they have here? Account number, type, so this is all still real estate. If we scroll down to your public information, how many credit cards do they have? So there's 4 creditors, right? There's 4 creditors. Which of them are credit cards?
2 of them.
2 of them, yeah, 2. 2 of them, good. Let's keep going, this is pretty easy. When was this credit report issued? Right, so this credit report, we're talking about, let's go down. Maybe we have to go, credit report, 2004. Okay, I think I got like 1 question left. How would you rate this person's credit worthiness? That's gonna be crazy. So let's do the math. They have a big balance, but it's normal for a home, right, for real estate. $1,100 a month is not big. They have 1 current payment, 1 delinquent remark, 1 delinquent payment from Equifax, which doesn't show up on TransUnion or Experian. Okay. And then, so this doesn't look too bad. 3 revolving accounts. TransUnion, Equifax say 2. So as you can see, there are differences to an extent in many of these. Assessments of the 3 different credit bureaus. Your account history. All right, they did have a few issues in terms of payments over the past 2 years. They have nothing currently that's past due, and 0 bad remarks from creditors. All right, let's move down. In 7 years, they had 1 payment 30 days late and 1 payment 60 days late. All right, just absorb all this. And then finally, we get to their public record. They did file for bankruptcy in 1996. However, we are now in 2004 based on this credit report. So they did file bankruptcy in 96, and they currently have 4 revolving credits, it looks like, 2 credit cards, a mortgage, and a bank. The mortgage probably isn't considered revolving, so it's probably the 2 credit cards and or the bank debt that they have. How do you evaluate this person? I mean, it's a lot of information. Would you give him a loan? One of you?
We have to look at his income first.
Okay, well, remember when we discussed, you make a decision, you would ask their income area, but usually you don't really go into super detail, right? You would look at their assets. Well, let's say this. If you were giving them a credit card, would you give them a good interest rate or a bad interest rate? Let's do that first. Would you give them a good interest rate or a bad interest rate?
I would say good.
Why? They filed bankruptcy once. Why would you give them a good interest rate? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
Wait, but the document didn't give any information about how many times they defaulted on a credit card.
Okay. Well, remember, if you default, it would probably show up here, on delinquent and derogatory remarks. And
But
he
it's
has
not. It's not
Right.
on revolving accounts though.
Right. So there's nothing there on the revolving account. So we don't know. So the assumption I would make is 0. Really what you're comparing is in 1996, he filed bankruptcy because they had some bad decision making. Since 96, this person has rebuilt his financial image, and this is his new financial image. Right? You now have the next. So imagine I file bankruptcy right now at 35. At 45, are you still penalizing me for what I did in 1996 when I've only got one delinquent remark currently in 2004, and I have multiple types of credit with no real delinquent or defaults or remarks? Would you consider me a risk, Vincent, to give me a loan?
I think so far looking at this, I think it's fine. He closed out of bankruptcy, and he seems to be on top of his payments, so I guess not.
Okay, I might agree with you. Anyone else? Anybody else want to chime in on that? No? All right. Guys, I'm going to let you guys go. We went through a pretty long, in-depth document. I will post all 3 of these links as well, so you have access to them if you want to peruse them. There's no due now today. Tomorrow we'll go over these 22 questions that we had. Wednesday, no class. Thursday, no class. And Friday, we'll be back in here as well. Bring questions Friday if you have personal questions. Tomorrow, we'll strictly do every question here. We'll cover it. Actually, do Tuesday. Nope, not going to do that because I don't want to give everyone their. We'll go over this Friday. So bring questions tomorrow. Bring questions you have on this and or other questions you might have on credit scores or personal credit situations or familial credit situations. We can discuss those. I don't want to do this tomorrow in depth because I don't want people to just get all the answers that didn't do the work.
Wait,
So
can I just ask a quick question about number 20?
Yeah, hold on. Let me drop down. Number 20. What is a free approval for a credit account? It might have been pre-approval.
Yeah, I thought there was a typo there.
So there's 2 ways you can look at this. A free approval, because you don't pay to be approved. I would kind of say free and pre would be the same. It might have just been a typo on my end when I was doing some of my own research when I initially did this. I might have just been wrong in my writing, or I might have read something and wrote free. But since you don't pay for it, correct. Let's alter that to a pre-approval for a credit account. Yeah, somebody had messaged me that also, and I completely neglected it and forgot.
Yeah, William
Yes.
messaged you on Discord.
Yeah, he did it on Discord. So, all right. So we'll go over this on Friday, actually, and bring some questions you might have or specific things you might want to learn that we didn't talk about or that aren't in these questions. I'll bring some things to address tomorrow also, and just in case you guys have no questions for me. Okay, is that fair?
Sounds fair.
All right.
Sounds fair.
Yep.
That's it. Guys, you have a wonderful day. I appreciate you. And I don't know what the hell the stock market's doing today. It's going up, and there's half the country's on fire. Figuratively and
Literally,
yeah. At the heart and soul of the country and at the financially. And yet, Twitter's up 3%. So Twitter's up because most of the engagement about the protests has been on Twitter, right? All of the breaking news has been on Twitter. So it's an interesting play in terms of stocks. You have Hong Kong issues with the United States, yet Apple's up 1%.
isn't Trump supposed to be suing Twitter?
He's not suing Twitter and Facebook. Here's what Trump wants to do, just so you guys can be involved in this discussion. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow and not even talk credit tomorrow. Trump is trying to push a new social media bill, which what it would do, it would declassify, more or less in layman's terms, it would declassify Twitter and Facebook as social media and classify them as news accounts. Well, that means that they have to fact check every single tweet and post. That means they also would be held accountable for hate speech and bad news on their accounts also.
I'm actually behind that. What? I can't believe it.
To a degree, I am behind it, but you're going to tell me 1 billion people on Facebook, and you want Facebook to be able to tell you if Vincent or Tyler posted a photoshopped photo?
They got to start banning accounts.
Yeah, so they got to ban accounts. I'm not sure how easy it is to do that, because an algorithm, I don't know how smart your AI algorithms can be that you can read sarcasm, or
just hire like 30 illegal people.
I mean, that is, you have to do something that would allow it to be done technology-based, because people come with flaws, right? So hiring people, or whether you go, even if you went to another country and you hired at a lower cost in another country, you still have to assume that these people understand the culture in that area, right? So what about if you had Americans gauging posts on Facebook in China or in India? Don't you think that Americans are going to have a slanted view?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of animal abuse.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot that has to go into that. I'm not sure what happens. I think it's interesting. I think it's a little important, because you can't have Twitter and Facebook letting people write whatever they want. But I think the people have to be pretty smart on their own and do their own research. What do you think, Adrian? Miku, I haven't heard from you yet today. What do you think about that? Do you think Facebook is just Facebook, and you know what? Post what you want and let people believe whatever you want and do your own due diligence? Or is it Facebook's job to vet what you say?
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go.
Go ahead, guys.
Miku, it's okay.
Alright. So I'm like kind of neutral on it. I think certain things, I feel like everything is, sometimes things are too filtered.
Okay.
And some things should be kept off for basically everybody to see and make their own decisions on, but some things should be taken off as well also.
All right, so you're kind of playing the middle of the road, which honestly, not to be mean, doesn't really help us, because we have to decide, should Facebook do this? Should Trump be able to pass this legislation? Should the government, whether it's Trump or not, should they be able to pass this legislation which says Twitter and Facebook are news outlets and responsible for what everyone writes? It's got to be black and white here. It's binary. It's a 0 or it's a 1. It's super hard. I'm with you, Chris. I think some yes, some no. But I don't think that is a legal option, if that makes sense.
They shouldn't, because Facebook and Twitter weren't even created to be like news outlets in the first place. And plus, they have those options to report pictures or Twitter posts. Like, as a normal user, I can repost something that I find inappropriate from a different person, and they would take it down. Or initially, like making an Instagram post, I'm pretty sure that Instagram actually is able to filter out what is or isn't appropriate to post. So they would take it down themselves, because I know people that have like had their posts taken down for inappropriateness. And
Okay.
so if Facebook and Twitter are just supposed to be news outlets, like Facebook already has that section on their platform, like just a news section. But that's what the normal like news is for, like CNN or ABC. Like those are strictly just for that. But people use Facebook and Twitter for their own personal use, and for the government to filter out everything, that it's kind of like overstepping.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. It's interesting.
No, I was gonna say I agree with Adrian because I feel like it's in question with our First Amendment freedom of speech because people just do it for their own amusement. And yes, we share information on it, but like Adrian said, there are certain features on the platforms for like hatred and like falsifying. But I feel like that's not the original intent. Twitter maybe because there is like a lot of news sites posting facts and they should be fact checked, but I don't think for all users.
Good.
Well, I think if you don't censor this stuff, I think you run the risk of having like the repeat of you know of what happened in 2016 with the whole election, the Russians involvement thing. I think it's good to be able to censor some stuff, but I think there's a certain extent where maybe it's impeding on your First Amendment rights.
Possible. Everybody has their own opinion on this. It's going to be interesting to see what really happens and what happens to the stock. Because I'll tell you what, if Twitter and Facebook make money on advertisers, right, on advertising, because they don't have a paid premium piece, if they make money on advertising, the question becomes if you have to monitor everything, right, will you lose users? And if you lose users, will you lose advertisers? It's interesting.
Definitely. Twitter and Facebook lives off of controversy. If there's no controversy, nobody uses their platform.
Exactly. So if you're making money on controversy, how the hell you don't want to be regulated? You want to let people say crazy stuff because the craziness is what keeps people coming back. Tyler said Twitter and Facebook can show what's on their platform, period. Okay, I agree with that. You should be able to show what you want. First Amendment protects you from saying what you want to say. The business can still control what you say. All right, Leslie. Yeah, guys, let me let you go because I know that I think at 10:40 today they're doing like some college thing.
Yeah.
So let me let you guys get out of here. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Good combo today, guys.
See you. Bye.
Adios.